Today we're going to talk about an issue that confronts a lot of museums, whether they be large institutions like the Smithsonian or smaller mid-sized ones like the James Monroe Museum. It's separating folklore from fact, and in this case observable facts that an artifact can provide to help determine if the story behind it is true or false, or somewhere in between. This weapon was, according to family tradition in the Monroe family, used by James Monroe when he was growing up for hunting, and he took it with him when he went to the College of William and Mary in 1774, and then carried it during the Revolutionary War when he was in the 3rd Virginia Infantry Regiment. It has, on the stock, carved into it the initials JM for James Monroe, WM for William and Mary, and 76 for 1776. There's nothing that we have in writing or in any other stories that confirm this family attribution. So we have to let the artifact tell us its story based on what we can determine through observation and research. This is a weapon, a flintlock smoothbore musket of the mid to late 19th century that is a French manufacture. The French Charleville musket was common from the late 1600s to the early 1800s. It was the main military weapon of the French Army in that period. It was used in the French and Indian War, used in the American Revolution by both the French and the Continental Army, was used in the Napoleonic Wars. It underwent several modifications in design over those years, and this weapon contains pieces from about 3 different time periods of French muskets. The barrel has characteristics of a civilian weapon, but the stock, the lock, which is the firing assembly, are from 2 different models of French musket, and there are features on here that are obviously handmade alterations to it. They are not military grade. So what does this tell us? It tells us that it's somewhat doubtful that this was a weapon that James Monroe has as a child. We can't rule it out entirely because there were civilian versions. It could have been used during the Revolutionary War. We can't be sure about that. It is of that era. But as to whether James Monroe had it and carved his initials in it and took it off to war, we have to go on the family story, and the artifact doesn't totally refute it, but it doesn't totally confirm it either. And that's sometimes where we just end up.